After yesterday's heartening look at Helldivers 2, where the developers quite simply said, no, F you and your political bullshit, this is a third-person shooter game, not Speaker's Corner, and started banning both sides of the wide political divide equally, it is time to drag you all kicking and screaming back to the year 2024 in which we reside, with a tale of censorship and retardation so thoroughly absurd. It is one of the dumbest I've heard in a while. So, allow me to set the scene. Back in 20 or something, now it's been like 3-4 years, Square Enix made a remake of Final Fantasy VII. And before the game was even released, people noticed that Tifa, one of the primary draws of aforementioned video game, was suddenly having her memories decrease rather drastically. Well, I wonder why. No, nobody actually wondered why. It was current yearism sneaking its way into the video game, going, nah, she's an attractive woman with big boobs. That's illegal in this current year. The remake came out, it was decidedly underwhelming, and it really was not the smash hit that Square Enix was anticipating, even having apparently cancelled plans for further remakes down the line, or at the very least put it on ice for the time being, and potentially having led to the increase in the boobage department that is alleged to be on the way, though I am very much so skeptical. Especially considering what happened the other day. An 8GB update hit for Final Fantasy VII the Remake. An 8GB update for a 3-4 year old game. What did they do? Was it a fix, maybe? No, apparently it was something about the movies departments. Well, it turned out that this scene right here, a flashback showing Tifa's cleavage, was replaced with this scene right here, where they gave Tifa a shirt for her shirt. Okie dokie then. Alright, what can you say? It is the current year, and the gamers were looking at this going, okay, this is idiotic. Why do you even care? I've already seen the scene 3 years ago, why is this an issue? And people then moved to mod it out, thinking, okay, Square Enix, if... Sure, well, we'll just revert it again, and sure enough, there was a mod to Uncensored it made within hours and days. Uncensored Nibelheim flashback video files, so people could remove the shirt for Tifa's shirt. But then, our tale is not over yet. Oh no, we have a further layer of idiocy, as the mod file was then taken down. Was then taken down by Nexus mods, who have made their political opinions very, 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 very clear, in that they are about as far left as they can possibly go. I love the fact that we begin with a little bit of censorship, right? We begin by adapting it for the current year, alright? And then, it's not adapted enough for the current year, so we censor it further 3 years later, because apparently we forgot to put a shirt on her. Nobody was complaining, it was just something that Square Enix decided to do for reasons, right? And then people go, oh, shut up. You've already censored it. Stop it. And make a mod to Uncensored only for the mod to uncensor the censorship of the censorship be itself censored. We've got some 1984 levels here that I don't even know if I don't know if it's even recognizable anymore. I don't know what kind of degree of 1984 this is. The sequel, maybe? The 1984 trilogy? God only even bloody knows. And Of course, this has to do with the ethics department that was created at Square Enix. That was one this really kicked off back in 2020, where people saw that Square Enix had an ethics department, or an ESG department more correctly, which made several interesting statements about diversity, inclusivity, representation, the usual, and this just happened to coincide with the censoring of Tifa. Now, this Square Enix ethics department is what is allegedly on the way out with the apparently recent increases in bus sizes again for Tifa. And with the disappearance of ESG money, I wouldn't be surprised, though, mind you, the ESG site is still there, and clearly the company's still not entirely sure what it's doing. On the one hand, Tifa in a bathing suit, on the other hand, an extra shirt for Tifa's shirt. This is a symptom of what is going to happen to virtually every company now. I need to do like more of a laying out, explaining video of this, I think, at some point in the near future, but the short version is, all of the companies that make entertainment are going to be caught in between the two extremes. The in ascension right, and the still in control of the levers of power left. And these two are not going to be able to agree on anything. You are not going to come up with a compromise that pleases both parties. Hell, even what Helldivers 2's solution, which is to yeet both of them, will be okay with the right, by and large, so long as they don't cater to the left, but it will not be okay with the left. At the moment, Helldivers is still protected by its popularity, but I pretty much guarantee you that give it a few months, we're going to start seeing some significantly less positive coverage of the game. Or some, you know that game you liked? Oh, actually, it was fascist. Or something along those lines. I'm almost convinced of it. So the companies can't really cater to either side, as now they are approaching an equilibrium. At the same time, they can't strike a compromise, so what they're going to do is get caught in the bloody middle, waffling back and forth, trying to please both sides, ending up pleasing neither, and probably dying a drawn-out death in all due likelihood. I mean, the video game slump has barely even begun, and additionally, there was another 900 firings at Sony the other day. It's gonna be a bloodbath, and it is going to get worse, a lot worse, as the companies will continue to see plummeting sales simply because they are unable to pick a side. And eventually, after, half a decade's worth of tortuously slow advance, they'll probably finally lean over to the right and go, okay, fine, we'll pick a side. And then we'll be in a decently golden age of centrism for maybe 10, maybe even 20 years if we're extraordinarily lucky. And then the whole song and dance will probably start over again. The cycle of man is an interesting one, but we might actually have learned some valuable lessons about gatekeeping in the interim, so who knows? Perhaps this golden age could last forever, says Arch naively. Remind me of this in another 30 years when we're all watching VR videos together. Until then, have a good day.